people are anonymous, they feel free to post all sorts of stuff online. It gives them this sort of freedom that they can't find anywhere else. You can see them in their full glory, so we've prepared a list containing child molesters, a deranged woman in a red hoodie, and much more. So join us as we talk about the 12 most terrifying stories ever posted on Reddit. Just a little heads up, this video is going to be part of a 2-part series, and we'll be uncovering the first 6 terrifying Reddit stories right now. So let's dive right in, shall we? Number 6, the campfire that never happened. In a Reddit thread of people showing their creepiest life stories, we found this little gem. A group of teenagers were having a party at one of their friends' house. And soon after the party started, they ran out of booze. A group of 3 friends volunteered to go and buy some for the party, but it was late at night and all the stores were closed. The only one that was working 24/7 was located far away from the house. Seeing that there's no other way, they began their long walk, thinking it couldn't be that far away. On their way, they passed numerous suburban houses and neighborhoods. During their walk, they barely noticed the identical houses that seemed to merge into one big neighborhood. The neighborhood was calm, and yet singing and cheering could be heard in the distance. The 3 friends walked a few feet forward and saw a bonfire in the distance, lanterns that illuminated the field, and people on horses circling the fire. They thought it was strange seeing horsemen in a suburban neighborhood, and they walked back to see what it was all about. But this time, when they came to the spot, there was no one there. Even though the 3 friends remember distinctly seeing the strange event, to this day, they don't understand who those horsemen were in the night. Number 5, near-death experience. A daughter thought she'd surprise her mother by going to visit her in Western Oregon. Knowing that her mother likes the outdoors, they both went on a camping trip together. It wasn't far away from their home, about a 25-minute drive in the mountains. They were the only people there until a truck full of men came and talked with her mom. The seemingly calm day of cooking, talking, and relaxing was interrupted by this horde of men. But after they talked, they got in the truck and drove away, so the daughter didn't ask why they came. Fast forward a few hours later, and the daughter was woken up by heavy sighs of her mother, who was sitting straight up in the tent. She was looking in the walls of the tent at the human shadow that was circling around it. Just as the shadow stood in front of the door and tried to unzip the tent, the mother quickly yelled, "Kenny, grab the gun." Even though their father was not on the trip, the man walked away and the 2 women walked away unharmed. If you liked our first 2 picks, destroy the like button so ghosts and demons know you're not afraid of them. Number 4, humming ELELANOR RIGBY by the Beatles. When a mother told her son not to wander off on his bike, she had a good reason. But one day, while the boy nagged his mom to let him ride his bike alone, she did it. But only after giving him a strict route of about 4 miles that the boy needed to stick to no matter what. At first, the 4-mile route seemed like a lot for the young boy. When he hopped on his bike and rode it as far away as he could, when the end of the route his mom assigned him, he saw a narrow 600-foot-long path that separated from the main street. The boy was curious and went down the road. A 15-minute ride brought him to the point where he no longer saw the houses from the neighborhood, and that's when he saw a screechy voice singing ELELANOR RIGBY by the Beatles. When he got closer and shined a light at her, the boy could see that the woman had nasty-looking hair with parts torn out of it. She was wearing a red, oversized hoodie and facing the opposite way. The boy tried talking to her, but she didn't even move. Just as he turned his bike around, terrified at what he saw, he heard an extremely awful, high-pitched scream. Terrified, the boy pedaled as fast as he could until he could no longer hear the trembling scream. Number 3, blood red hair. One Scottish-Irish family was extremely proud of their roots. Ancestry is one of the things that they respected the most, and the family was headed by the great-grandmother of the female writer. She was the matriarch of the family and favored only those children and grandchildren that had red hair. Among her favorites were the father of the author and his elder brother. Why? Because they were the only ones in the family who share her blood red hair. The girl writing the story was not in the list. She had blonde hair, and her grandma didn't like her that much. But then, this little girl had a sister. She was born without hair. One fateful day, as the baby was sleeping peacefully in her crib, the author saw her sister had red hair. The red fuzz began to grow. She was jealous, to say the least. But soon after, the little girl died. She was murdered by her jealous sister. And that's exactly when the author's hair turned blood red, just like her grandma's, her uncle's, and her father's hair. All of them have one thing in common: family blood on their hands, or rather, hair. Number 2, the secluded farmhouse. A group of friends decided to go and hang out at their secluded farmhouse. The house was cut off from any civilization. There was no cell phone service, and Google Maps couldn't register their location. No street signs or traffic light. Everything was pitch black. And the last leg was a 5-mile-long road that looked to the cabin at the end. The guys went into the house, left their stuff, and headed out to the nearby lake to take a quick swim. After a night of swimming and drinking, they headed back to the cabin, but the cabin was not alone. One of the lights was turned on, and at the house entrance was a strange man looking straight at them. The friends spent the night under the open sky as far away from the house as possible, and they couldn't call 911. There was no service. After that terrifying night, they went into the house to get their stuff, all of which was there, and they ran towards the car, never looking back. Number 1, a visit to the dentist. One 8-year-old had a weird feeling about her dentist. After all, the guy did have a fake smile that stretched across his face like that of a clown's. Regardless, she went in there for her regular checkups with no fuss. Why? Because her mother was always in the room with her. She made her feel safe. One day, the girl was supposed to spend time with her father. Since her parents were divorced, during her stay, she had to go to her dentist because she already had an appointment scheduled. Her daddy took her in, but didn't go inside with her. He stood outside while she kicked, cried, and screamed inside the dentist's office. Unable to fix her teeth, the dentist rescheduled, and the father took her home. He then told her mother that she was spoiling their daughter, but the daughter had a hunch. You see, only 2 weeks later, a TV reporter announced that the dentist was charged with child pornography after molesting children under anesthesia and photographing it. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, what are some of your most terrifying stories posted on Reddit? You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.